Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. It's a brand new week. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D.
And I'm Danilo Acquisto, and I can definitely tell you that Jeannie wears the pants in this relationship. That's for sure.
I don't think there was ever any doubt.
Looking absolutely incredible. If you guys want to find out what exactly Jeannie's wearing and where to get the outfits from, go and find it on our Facebook page as well as on our website after the live show today. So from 5 p.m, go and check out our social sites and our website, and you'll see everything that we wear on Afternoon Express and where you can get it from. Now, this week starts off Youth Week in South Africa, and we're very, very excited about that. June 16th, the public holiday everyone's looking forward to, is happening on Thursday. And today we have a guest in the loft with us who's literally spray painting himself to international fame. His name is Skubalisto. He's a street artist, and he's decorating a lot of streets, particularly in Cape Town and around the world. We'll chat to him later on Afternoon Express.
And because it's a motivational Monday, if ever you needed inspiration, you're going to find it on the show today. We have endurance swimmer Theodore Yach in the loft, and this guy is amazing. He swam the Sea of Galilee lengthways and did the Robben Island swim 100 times.
So it sounds like the man doesn't spend much time at home, but hopefully you guys will be spending a lot more time in your new home as Winter Home comes to Afternoon Express. Today, we have our design contestants in the loft with us, but also our judges, and they are finally going to be judged on their first challenge, that guest bedroom. It is going to be tense, and there can only be one.
Now, Bonnie and Clem are working on something ridiculously tasty in the kitchen today.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to a motivational Monday in the kitchen as well. This week, we're starting a week themed the ultimate week, right? Because we're making food that's apparently very manly, leading up to Father's Day on Sunday.
And if you just put ultimate in front of anything, it just becomes manly.
You know, I'm judging you right now. So before I judge you for gender profiling the food groups, please explain to us why it's ultimate week and what's manly
it's just
food.
Dude food that men just generally love to make. And that's why I said, like, let's you be in the kitchen with me today.
Yeah, because I'm going to take you on, right?
Exactly. we actually, you know what? We can actually do a hamburger building competition. We just see who's the fastest
I'm
at it.
down. You know I love a good competition.
You know, it's going to...
I'm here for this. Well, okay. Pop over to our website for the full recipe and the shopping list. Let's join Danilo on the couch with Skubalisto.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Skubalisto is a visual artist based in Cape Town who creates unique portraits using a range of mediums, but mostly working with spray paint. His talent has seen him create murals in and around New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. And if you spend some time walking around the city of Cape Town, chances are you've come across one of his pieces. Welcome to our loft, Skubalisto.
Hey, it's good to be here.
It's good to have you, dude. I'm so glad you haven't taken to any of our walls just yet. We seem to be safe for now. I've just got to make sure. Where's the spray paint can? Is it around?
And they do make mini ones, eh?
Do they?
Watch.
Just be careful, hey? Just hide it in your shoe there. Let's talk a bit about your growing up as a young kid, because, I mean, life wasn't too easy for you growing up. Your parents were in exile, if I'm not mistaken, in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was that time in our country's history, you know. So I guess I'm a freedom baby, or the lucky few.
And then what happened from there? How did you guys move from Zim in exile back to the country, and then...
I moved back earlier, and I grew up with my grandparents from Emahlubini to Mtanzane. And then my mother came back down to South Africa when I was around 4 years old, and then been in Cape Town ever since.
Okay. So where did this love for art and design and creativity penetrate you? When did that start to become part of your being?
I think since day one, you know? Since day one. Since watching cartoons, listening to Michael Jackson, you know, being able to create something out of nothing. It kind of felt like a superpower, you know? Yeah. Being able to communicate, leaving a drawing there, leaving the room, and someone else sort of understanding or seeing what happened, you know? Like, it was subliminal.
And then obviously went through your whole schooling career, and did you obviously take art as a subject, I'm sure, or not even?
I did, but I almost nearly failed art when I was...
Really? because of the academic side of it, because of the...
No, it's just, it's how information's presented, you know? Like, I didn't connect to how I was presented. But then when I started seeing graffiti, when I started seeing murals, when I started seeing guys like Falco, or Faith, Mac 1, Deck 3, that was a way that I could communicate with. That was a way that I found interesting. Sure. And then that's why I sort of, you know, connected to it.
Sure. And then you went on to go and kind of study in that field. You went to go and do not necessarily graphic design or anything to do with sort of fine art, but you are technically qualified.
Yeah, new media, computer arts, and illustration.
Okay, and they
So I didn't necessarily study muralism, I just connected to it. So I did that on my own, just researching Diego Rivera, guys like Otomile Feni, Fuzzy Slippers, Breezy Oak, like just a lot of painters that I'd been watching and learning through subliminally, you know.
I think in some ways street art has got a huge cultural element behind it. It's got a lot of emotion and culture behind it. What is it about street art that is so cultural? What is the big, deep meaning behind it?
It's that raw, uncensored communication, you know. You don't have to have permission from someone. You don't have to get the okay. You don't have to wait for someone to approve your piece. You can just paint.
Yeah.
So there's no, you know, there's no filtration behind it. There's no bureaucracy behind it. It's just raw emotion.
And obviously with that emotion within you, you've obviously wanted to create your own different pieces. And the trip to overseas, let's talk about your trip to the United States. I mean, that must have taught you so much, and you're back here. What was the reason behind going overseas? Was it because it wasn't enough for you here? Was it a learning experience?
It was just curiosity, really, you know, wanting to see the world. Because, I mean, we're born onto planet Earth, not a specific country or specific province.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be able to travel a little, and I still plan on traveling more.
Good.
But one thing I learned while overseas was how rich we are here culturally, you know, how much we have to offer the world. I mean, we're only, what, 20 years young, you know what I mean? As a democracy. So it's just, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. What did you learn from that experience?
Work hard, you know? Because, I mean, here we don't have that many artists, you know, it's still like the art scene is still developing, whereas there, thousands upon thousands of artists. So to stick out, to be noticeable or noticed, you have to put in work, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here. Just work hard all day, every day. No days off.
What I learned while I was studying, and particularly in high school when I was doing drama, we were always focusing on the fact that the arts was always going to be the mirror to society. It was always the thing that was going to challenge people's thinking, the way that they thought. It was going to express emotion, and art has always been that. And then I moved in towards my law studies, and then there we spoke quite a lot about the idea of what it is that we hold true to ourselves and how do we express that, especially when it comes to this system that we live in. A lot of people might have said, and I think at that time, that graffiti is damaging to cities, it is messy, it's all of those things. What is your response to that?
There's a positive and a negative to anything, or everything. So it's how you perceive it and how you approach it that changes everything, you know. Like for me, I started off with graph, and I was writing my name, it was ego-based. No one really understood it, you know, except for the other writers. Whereas now, I choose to paint people in society, or I choose to paint human figures, or I choose to paint images that everyone can relate to. Whether you don't speak a certain language, whether you understand art or not, something like a face speaks to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I've sort of evolved as a painter. And, but I still have tons of love and respect for graffiti, because that's how I found myself. I found art, you know what I mean?
So why didn't you move towards sort of fine art? Why didn't you move towards trying to find other mediums to express exactly the same feeling? Why the idea of that street art?
Just because it communicates to everyone, you know? You open the dialogue with everyone, not just people who pay attention to art. Because unfortunately, art is seen as something that's just for an elite few. Whereas art is how we pass our history down, you know? Rock paintings are art, you know? Like, that's how our knowledge has been passed down for years and centuries. So I feel street art for me is something that even if you're not looking for it, you'll see it. You know, even if you hate art, you'll still have an opinion on that piece. Like, hey, I hate this, you know? At least you interact with it and you see it. So it's a very inclusive form of art, you know. Everyone gets to experience it. Everyone gets to complain about it. Everyone gets to love it, you know.
It is art, so it does have a message behind it. It is trying to speak to somebody.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, obviously, because there's so many different buildings around the world, and architecture is becoming one of the biggest sort of industries in the world at the moment. Everyone's trying to better each other, and that means a lot more building space for people to do art on. Do you have like a dream of being somewhere in the world? Is there some building that you've always wanted to do your art on?
My dream is to paint the whole of Mtanzana. Basically. Just literally get everyone who's interested, get enough paint and beautify that whole space, you know? Like really, because it's a valley, it's green, it's unreal, it's a beautiful space, and I'd love to actually paint that and bring light to it, you know? In light of the global industry, where is street art, and particularly in South Africa? I think South Africa's, we're going really far, really fast, you know? Like it's insane, from music to visual art to even our film industry is crazy. You know, even me being here and seeing this set, I'm almost overwhelmed, you know, but very impressed. So as a country, no, we're definitely going far, but we still need to internalize our support stream, you know, like, because now we tend to look outside too much, looking at Europe, instead of seeing how much wealth we have here and pushing that. Whether it's funding it, whether it's buying artwork, whether it's, you know, corporates giving us money to do cool things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we definitely need to internalize our industry more instead of just, yeah.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you, how do you monetize a career like street art? Because it's not like someone's going to say to you, like, hey, I'll buy that wall because it's already their wall. How do you monetize? How do you make this a lucrative industry for yourself?
Street art is free advertising, you know. I hate to say it, but it's true. So the more of my work people see, the more sort of, the more value, I guess, is perceived and put onto my work.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it works. I guess that's how art works in general.
Yeah, true.
So for me, people tend to approach me and ask me for work or artworks or for me to paint murals, and then we go from there.
Awesome.
I've already developed a pricing scheme and whatever since, but I think, yeah, for younger artists who are actually trying to figure out and start a career as an artist, the most important thing is working hard and developing a style. Having a style that's very unique to you.
So you can notice it. The moment you walk in the street, you'll be able to notice it. It really does go to show that creativity can be found absolutely anywhere.
How amazingly talented is Skubalisto.
It's
I
incredible.
really love graffiti, actually, but I love graffiti that's creative and artistic, not
Yeah.
just like tagging your
Yeah.
name in a swear word. and the rest
Yeah,
of it.
and I mean, it's not only creative, but it's also just, it forces the whole community to engage with art in a way that they never have before, and it's
Exactly.
not unattainable anymore.
Exactly. So this guy is seriously just blown up. He's done a new campaign now for SABC1, and literally just so much art in this new commercial, and he did such an amazing job.
Yeah, and I was just chatting to Danilo about him. I was saying he must have been quite inspiring to interview, and he was saying, yeah, he's such an artist. He's just here. You don't have to figure it out. Don't think too deeply. It's just art.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Consume it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at this new commercial on SABC1 featuring Skubalisto.
Story. I hope someone out there really listens. Yeah. 50 million people, that's 50 million riders. And look, everybody knows every story's double-sided. When I see me, I see you and see I like you. I have to admit it, I'm really inspired by you. That's why I shall aspire to. By you.
It's my life, you know. Get down, get up in the for show. Zulu, now Pambili, for sure. Zulu, now Pambili, for sure. Zulu, now Pambili, for sure.
I could draw anything. This my story. I hope someone out there's really listening. Yeah.
That's quite an emotive campaign, and apparently it's called Art and Television Are One, and it certainly depicts that. What did you think?
Absolutely. It's brilliant, and you can catch it, obviously, all the time on SABC1. Right now, though, after the break, we're coming back with yummy, beefy burgers on Afternoon Express.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us today, we're making the ultimate cheeseburger. But before we get started, it's time to announce the last two winners for the Hellmann's #RockYourBurger competition for Thursday. Tidi Esther Madibo, congratulations, with the red coleslaw with barbecue chicken strips with the Hellmann's mayo dress. And the Friday winner was Victor Kunau, with his shredded chicken burger with barbecue bits, gorgonzola, avocado, and red onion marmalade. Now, recently, Hellmann's launched their burger truck at the Neighborhood Goods Market in Johannesburg, where some of the country's top food bloggers and media personalities had the chance to show off their burger making skills. Check it out.
The Neighborhoods Market was the place to be on World Burger Day for a huge celebration to launch Hellmann's #RockYourBurger campaign. A beloved food brand for over a century, Hellmann's has innovated once again with a burger truck that makes personalized burgers by printing a selfie onto the burger bun.
Basic process is that we take people's pictures and basically burn them onto a bun using a laser printer. Pure heat, very sanitary, and it just looks amazing. People are quite ecstatic about it, actually. I want to see my face on a bun is basically what people are saying.
We are celebrating World Burger Day, so we've got a mixture of food bloggers, of media personalities, as well as food editors like Taste and Fresh Living.
The famous foodies in attendance formed teams who would face off in the ultimate burger competition, where each team chose a different main ingredient as the hero of their burger.
First team are called the Rolling Buns. It's Carmini Pata, who's SA MasterChef winner 2013 and host of Girl Eat World. Steve Steinfeld, the Joburg foodie, and Abigail, the editor at Taste Magazine.
Steve's doing the burger patty, so that's got to be perfection.
I'm leaving the cooking to the professionals, though.
And then we'll do the flavour, the toppings, and of course the Hellmann's mayonnaise, which is going to make it all.
If we don't win, we're going to be really upset.
Second up, we have the Food Fighters. It's Roxy Burger TV and Roxy Burger TV and radio personality, presenter and DJ, Charmaine from Glam Foodie Blogger, and Jonathan Sittert at food editor at Fresh Living Magazine.
I think the secret ingredients of a great burger is love. Put your heart and soul into it.
Finally, we've got the Ramayones. We've got Chris Forrest, comedian and SA MasterChef celebrity winner. Yay. Emka Webb, Food and Home Mag, and we've got Clem Mampulo from food editor at City Press newspaper.
Okay, as you can see, my teammates are amazing. They're plating up a storm here. Our team is called the Highway to Hellmann's, which is a very clever name because it's Hellmann's mayonnaise. We were actually hoping to make it a bit spicier. What we thought was chili turned out to be tomato pesto, so it's fine. It's still awesome. It's still great. We're still going to win, you know. I think we've rocked it.
For me, what makes a great burger is about not only the juiciness and the beautiful taste combinations, but also texture. Crispy lettuce, soft tomato, beautiful juicy patty, which will complement the tangy, fresh pineapple salsa that Carmini's made with Hellmann's mayonnaise.
We are the Food Fighters. So we're getting aggressive and we have a bold burger. That's our strategy. We have a secret weapon. We actually took some mayonnaise and we toasted the buns with the mayonnaise.
Then we've got a delicious patty, grilled cheese, and we're opting for fresh mayonnaise. The second mayo going. This is our secret weapon here, melted cheese.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, meh. Meh. It's supposed to be rock your burger. These are more of a rock bland than rock band. We've gone for a double patty, some really sweet red onions, some blue cheese, some tomato pesto, and then a slab of cheddar, tomato, and more Hellmann's mayo.
We were so happy to have Abby on our team because this is definitely a very well-styled burger. It's got feta, it's got a pineapple salsa, so I'm dropping things, a pineapple salsa with Hellmann's mayonnaise in it. Obviously, crispy bacon, and yeah, if it doesn't win, they're all crazy.
When it comes to a great burger, I'm looking for it to be delicious, juicy, and definitely has to showcase Hellmann's.
And the winner is the Food Fighters!
The burger created by the Food Fighters will now be on the Hellmann's Burger Truck menu, and all the proceeds generated by the sale of this special burger will go to a charity organization called Outreach Foundation. Follow Hellmann ZA on Facebook and Twitter, or go to hellmans.co.za for all the hashtag #RockYourBurger action and to see when the Hellmann's Burger Truck will be in your town.
Wow, that certainly looks like it was so much fun. So many familiar and favorite faces on there. Okay, so I think we could give them a run for their money, right?
Okay, definitely. So what I've done is I've shaped the mince patty. You've got to be very careful. You don't compress the mince too much, because that's what kind of causes it to become a really hard puck instead of a patty.
Or a meatball.
Exactly. So there's in a high heat over there, a little bit of oil. Let's try our luck. You think we're going to get some flame today?
Yeah, well, do you, boo?
Look at that. Flame grill.
Before I even said yes, you were like, flame.
Okay, cool. Don't do that at all.
What did you season that with?
Just salt. That's the trick.
Oh.
No breadcrumbs, no eggs, none of that funny stuff. Just salt and pepper. So I just did salt. I like adding my pepper to the end. I find that sometimes the pepper actually burns in the hot oil.
And it goes a bit bitter.
There we go. So the flames are just an added extra. You don't need to do that. So let's put it over.
We love your added extras, Clem.
Oh.
Are you going to do it again?
Now, no, on the spot. Why don't you? Just put me on the spot. Okay, so that's been seasoned both sides. I'll do the whole magic just now. But the trick is, don't mess with the burger. Let the burger just sit and seal on its own. And what you can end up with is all your minced patties, right? Now, I'm doing rule number 1 that you're not supposed to ever do. That's overcrowding the pan with the meat. But I'm doing it for a reason. So we're going to get this nice and hot. Get like a nice sizzle. You got to hear the meat cooking. You got to use all your senses when you cook. Very important. So I'm putting some cheddar.
I love it when you get so passionate.
It is, and it's burgers. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good burger? So, melted cheese or cheese on your burger.
Yeah.
I'm using a mature cheddar. You can use any cheddar you like. You can use a gorgonzola. I think gorgonzola would be insane with this burger.
Sure, it would.
And what I'll do is I'm going to create some steam in there. So, a little bit of water, and a heavy lid goes on. So let that do its thing, right? What's going to happen is the cheese is going to melt all over the burger. That's what a cheeseburger is all about.
And then it's going to make magic.
Okay, so now there's one reason we're here today. It's about Hellmann.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
I'm about this.
Exactly, and it really is the world's #1
I love
mayonnaise for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, tuna mayo is not a tuna mayo.
It's not, nothing's the same without this.
I know.
Nothing.
It's so true, but I mean, it's actually why to take that. Don't do that. Okay, so what I've done is, I don't know if you know this, you can actually, when you toast your buns, right, instead of using butter, use Hellmann's on there, and then put it in the pan. It gives you the most amazing caramelization ever.
Look at that.
So what I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, just to add some of the Hellmann's to the bases.
More. Okay.
On all of them. And I'm going to just check on our burgers over here.
So you'll be very proud of me. Speaking of buns, I made my son's hot dogs for their school lunch this morning, and I toasted the buns, and I cut the Viennas, and I fried them like I was a pro.
It makes
all
the
at 7
difference.
o'clock in the morning.
No, I'm proud of you. You have to toast the buns.
Yeah.
After
no,
the
you have
soggy,
to.
no one likes a soggy bun.
Exactly.
No, never. Okay. So to go with our burger, you're doing a brilliant job over there.
One side. It's just you just need one side.
Yeah, just one side for now. We'll add some more later. I've got some onion rings. So when I make onion rings, I find like some people sometimes call it onion rings, but it's just a bowl of like mushy onions. But I feel sorry for this. I'm gonna share all my tips with you today. So what you're gonna do first, you gotta soak your onions in some milk. What that does, it draws out that strong oniony pungent flavor in there.
Yeah.
But also acts as a glue when you actually put your onions into your flour. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna stretch over you. I've got some plain flour over here. I'm using some Cajun spice. That way it gives it like a real kick. Some nice heat in there.
Yeah.
And some garlic salt. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix that all up and then add your onions to that to coat them well. But here's the trick. Let it sit for 15 minutes before you put it in the oil. The reason for that is the flour ends up sticking to the onion because of the milk, like glue. So when you put it into the hot oil, it doesn't dissipate into the oil.
Oh, yeah.
It actually
And you
forms
don't get
like
all
a
these
serious
crumbs in the
crust,
oil.
like the one we got over there. I'll pop it to the side over there. So you've done all of that for me. So let's start assembling. We're good.
Okay, production line.
So you got some Hellmann's there. I'm just gonna pop it to the side. Everything's clean. Ooh, this guy's got Hellmann's on both sides.
Yeah, that's a special one. That one's for me.
Okay, so now we're gonna do this.
Okay,
6
cool.
hamburgers, and we're gonna put it together in record time. Okay. So here's the sequence. It's gonna go. Lettuce.
Lettuce.
Wait. We gotta time this. Okay, so let's go.
Okay.
So it's lettuce, burger, onion, bacon, bun, and we finish it with a pickle on the end. Because green means go. So unless it's got the green on top, it's not good to go.
It's not a go.
Cool. So let's do this. So you're gonna go lettuce. I'm gonna come through with the buns. With the burgers. You doing well?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
It's a little hot. We professionals.
Okay.
I'm gonna shift this all out the way.
Professionalism. Yeah. Okay, cool.
We're feeding the people today.
Ready.
So you can see the way that our cheese is melted over the burger.
That's beautiful, and it smells insane.
And a bit of the cheese is kind of caught on the pan. That goes, it's slightly crispy. Oof. And that's just
love it.
Even better.
Okay. And then it's the onion rings.
It is. Okay, so onion rings, here you go.
Okay.
So if you're not a burger fan and if you don't eat meat, shame. Not today. We're not catering to you.
Oh, wow.
Today is all about the mince, all about the burger.
The ultimate.
Can we swap aside? I'm just going to go over you.
Okay.
This is looking so good. I
It's
feel like
looking
we're
amazing.
ending up with more.
I love your onion rings.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go.
Okay.
I'm going to do bacon.
I love
This
your
is going
bacon.
really
How did
well.
you get your bacon like that?
Okay, so with the trick, okay, I don't know about you, but the trick is putting it in the oven.
Ask about me.
Okay, I don't like putting bacon in the oven though. This came from the oven, so you can get perfectly like magazine ready piece of bacon.
So you're saying you don't like it in the oven?
No,
I always make
find-
mine in the oven
Okay,
because
I
then I
find
don't
that
have
it
to add extra oil.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I find it goes a little too salty. Sometimes it dries out a little too much. I like it in the pan. I like to bake it with a little bit of chew. I know some people like it super crispy.
Oh, there's a
Okay,
piece
we're
of
nearly
bacon.
there. What's missing? Nothing. We're done. Buns on.
Buns on.
We
Okay.
can run this side over here, grab the skewers back over here. So I like serving the pickle on top of the bun. And you?
No, in the bun. Shouldn't it be in the bun?
And sometimes when we're on live TV, we just agree to things just to make like TV seem so
Yeah. I
smooth.
like it on the bun. Okay, I'm confused. Jeannie would be calling me a black blonde right now.
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's looking good. I think you and I could open our own food truck.
Yeah, we could. Me with a little bit of training.
Something doesn't look right. Something looks... I don't know what happened.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it. This is TV. We can fix anything. After the break, we're joined by endurance swimmer Theodore Yach for some health inspiration. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Theodore Yach's passion for taking on the ocean has made him a well-known name and an inspiration for many. Having crossed the English Channel and swimming lengthwise across the Sea of Galilee and swimming his 100th Robben Island to mainland swim in 2016, this is one man who knows how to brave the cold waters and endure. Now, today he joins us in the loft to talk about his sporting adventures and make us a healthy Nutri-Blast a little bit later. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thanks very much, Jeannie.
Now, you've done some incredible things, but when I hear your list of accolades, I just think to myself, why? I mean, that's surely nothing easy that you've done.
Yes, it's first of all, I think I must just explain the rules to you. So the rules of what we do in the sea are no wetsuits. We swim from a natural shore to a natural shore, and if we touch the boat during the time that we're in the ocean, that's it. End of swim. Start again tomorrow. So it's quite staunch. We swim mainly to English Channel rules, although we have our own Cape Long Distance Swimming Association in Cape Town that monitors every single swim.
Amazing.
So yes, so my wife Michelle is actually to blame. Before we were married, I hadn't done my first swim yet, and basically it was a challenge. I think she told her friends, not sure about this Yach, I think he's delusional, he thinks he's swimming to Robben Island. In those days it was aberrant behaviour, so I fortunately have proved her wrong.
Well, you know what they say, behind every successful man is a woman. So
Exactly.
shout out to Michelle. Now, this year is a pretty special year for you, I suppose, because this marked your 100th Robben Island swim.
Yes.
That must have been, I mean, firstly, you're in a Speedo, no?
A Speedo.
Okay. And, I mean, the Cape Town waters are freezing.
The water, yes, I did my 100th on the 22nd of March, and fortunately I had some of Cape Town's top long-distance swimmers swimming with me. But the water was cold. We started in 12 degrees. And I think with the emotion of knowing it was my 100th and, you know, hoping not to completely screw it up in front of the country, it was a bit daunting. But after the first hour, once I got into my stroke, and I had the guru of pilots on the boat with me, Tony Scalabrino, I relaxed into it, and also we had the chairman of long distance swimming, Peter Bales, on the other boat. So it definitely got a bit easier the closer I got to Three Anchor Bay.
Yeah, but with Cape Town water, I know whenever I try and swim in, you know, Cansway or Clifton, my legs literally go numb after a few seconds of standing in the water. So it is quite intense. But with endurance sport, do you think it's more fitness or mental strength?
It's definitely, for me, more mental strength. So I've cold adapted. Now, cold adaptation takes years. It's not something you can do in a couple of months.
How do you cold adapt?
In the beginning, it's a simple but harsh procedure.
Yeah.
Walking in and out of Camps Bay for a couple of hours, 2-3 times a week, and then getting back in the water and doing a few hours of training.
But then when you're in that cold water, what are you thinking of mentally to overcome that feeling of, I'm freezing?
Yes, so the freezing is not a good sign, and which is why a lot of triathletes, even in wetsuits, fail, because what that means is that their entire musculoskeletal system is seizing up. So the object is to avoid that. And so I think about everything. I can put the cold into a little box and forget about it. And once I've done that and I've got into my stroke, I think about anything except swimming.
Yeah.
I count my strokes. I think about the issues of the day. I'm part of a very large property business, so I think about those issues.
Stress of work is a good one to take your mind
Exactly.
off this one.
And yes, and focus on the pace boat next to me.
Yeah.
And try not to worry about what's happening between my feed times.
Yeah.
And then hopefully at the right time they'll stop me, throw me a bottle of water. I'll down 200 or 300 mils. And
In
then
the
back
water,
again.
they'll throw you things to eat and drink. Don't you get a stitch? My mother always told me don't swim immediately after eating.
Yes, so many years ago, it's the nutrition side of what I do has been a total evolution.
Yeah.
With back in the day, Tim Noakes' help, and now I've got a young nutritionist, Jessica, who helps me.
Yeah, well, I brought you here today to help me with the nutrition, so we're going to make a Nutri-Blast. And while we're doing that, I want to know about your evolution of your diet. Because you must be your diet must be amazing. Because you can't you've got to stay lean, but your heart also has to stay really strong as well.
Well, when I swam the English Channel in '96, I weighed 107 kilos.
Wow.
I'm now down to 91. So that gives you an idea of the evolution in my diet. Back in the day, on the swim, they used to throw me chicken sandwiches, burgers, which your presenter was making earlier, and I used to drink Coke. These days, I'm drinking water. If the swim is less than 5 hours, I'm only drinking water. I might have a banana in between, and maybe 1 or 2 pieces of chocolate, and that's it.
Amazing, and that keeps you going.
Yeah.
Okay, so today you're going to make me a Nutri-Blast. What are we doing here?
Okay, so we're going to mix all the ingredients.
I'll mix it for you if you want. I'm quite good at this by now.
Yeah. So the ice is a critical
we'll throw some ice in first.
Yeah.
Because you've got quite an interesting flavour combination going here. Okay, with some ice and then some spinach.
Okay, and then some of the berries. The berries are. I like the
I'm going to throw in a
berries.
little bit of spinach and more berries. There you go.
Okay, and then the nachi is quite good, and walnuts.
And then avo. That's quite an interesting.
Yeah, avo is my favourite vegetable fruit. It depends who you talk to. Yeah.
This is really good. And I suppose if you have avo before your swim, it would keep you fuller for longer, no?
Yes, I think so. I think that's the general idea. In fact, before I swim, I don't eat very much at all.
And then what's that? I think that's milk.
Yeah, I think isn't that coconut milk?
It's yours. I'm throwing it in there.
Yeah.
It's some hemp milk or coconut milk.
It's hemp milk. That's
Okay.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
And now we're going to blast it.
You're going to blast it. Yeah.
This is a very interesting combination. Good luck. I hope it tastes amazing. You think it's ready?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
It looks nice and thick, but let me just make it a little bit thinner. It's easier to digest, so we don't have the heaviness while we're swimming. Or while you're swimming, rather. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, this is going to be yummy.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I help you there? Yeah, okay.
Got it. I'm tough. Oh, shucks. Okay, there you go. It's nice and thick.
That's what I normally do, so don't worry. Yeah.
There you go. We can have it with a spoon if you want. There you go. Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
a mess in the kitchen.
Yeah, me too, which
Tasty.
is why I'm banned at home.
Oh, really? Me too. Actually, I banned myself from the kitchen.
It's really good.
Tasty.
Very nice.
Yummy. Thank you so much for coming through and chatting to us.
No,
you
thank you.
really are an inspiration. Amazing.
Thank you
Makes
very
me want to get out there into a pool. Now, staying active through various forms of sports helps you to keep healthy and fit. And along with making NutriBullet a part of your healthy lifestyle, you can keep going strong. If you would like more information on different recipes you can make using your NutriBullet, all you need to do is head over to nutribullet.co.za. Now, after the break, it's time for Winner Home on Afternoon Express. And today, our judges deliver their judgment on the design contestants' first challenge, the guest bedroom. We'll be right back after this.
I should be putting on my evil voice because the time has finally come. It's time for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, where 3 young design contestants transform 3 properties at the Valdivia estate into dream homes using finishes provided by Caesar Stone as well as Plascon. Now, after our design contestants received their first brief, the guest bedroom, they were faced with the task of decorating and designing the first room in their Valdivia apartment. Now, while having to bring their own flair, keep in touch with the expectations of the beautiful Polo Village and present their very first room, our 3 judges kept a close eye on them, and now it is time for them to reveal their scores on each room. We're joined by our 3 contestants, Joanne, Minentle and Rudolf. Oh gosh, guys, how are you guys feeling? Nervous, Joanne?
Yeah, quite nervous. I wonder what they're going to say.
Okay, what are your expectations? What are you feeling? Where's the mood at? Because you guys have been under a lot of stress. Are you tired? What are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm quite tired. Like, it's been a process, but I love my guest bedroom, so I really hope it's going to get
You're keeping your cards as close to your chest as possible. I wonder how that's going to turn out. Rudolf?
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm ready to make aluminium snow angels in that guest bedroom bed. So.
And also, bearing in mind, that's the room I'm coming to stay in, so all of you had better have really good guest bedrooms this time around. Minentle, how are you feeling, my friend?
I'm excited in a sense that it's always good to get feedback on your work.
Yeah. I think that's probably the first time I've ever heard Minentle say he's excited about something. There's an emotion. He's feeling something, and I'm excited to see what it turns out. Also joining us in the loft today, and opposite them is our 3 judges and result from Plascon. She's the Global Colour Manager, Simon Bray, CEO from Private Property, and last but not least, Mark O'Reilly from ARC. Lady and gents, how are you guys feeling today? It's Mark, start with yourself. How are you feeling about the contestants?
Yeah, all good. I think it's been an exciting time, and we're quite excited about revealing what they've produced.
Yeah, Simon, spending that much time with these guys and checking out the properties and obviously thinking from a business perspective, you've had to analyse this on a much deeper level than I think they expected.
Yeah, I mean, we've hopefully stuck to our wheelhouses and got some good constructive feedback for the guys. I think that's very much what we want to achieve is first time out, judging, give them a good sense of where to go to next.
Yeah. And Anne, your surname says it all. You're about to reveal the results of all of this stuff. Anne, tell us how you're feeling.
Well, they're obviously very talented designers, so I was very impressed with the standard. However, I must say I was a little bit disappointed in that I felt they played it a little bit too safe for my liking.
Interesting. Okay. So, lady and gents, this side too, we are going to have to get into judging those scores. So what I'm going to ask our judges to do is they're going to just share a little bit of feedback on each of you individually and then give you a score which they've been rating you guys out of in the process. So we're going to start with you, Minentle, as we reveal what exactly you guys thought. Mark, let's begin with you.
Yeah, well, I think what I liked about Minentle's room was that there was a very clear, clean approach. I think he used a beautiful sense of colour, and I quite liked the mix of that. I think where he came a bit short in terms of the brief was that he didn't really approach the out-of-the-box approach that we wanted for the headboard design. I think he played it a bit safe with the 4-poster bed and just the plain headboard. But I like that he used an accent colour to try and accentuate that. I think I also like that he used the mirror cupboards for the bedroom. And that created a greater sense of space within the room. I think where he fell a bit short was just the practicality. I mean, he had positioned a chair and a plant in the one corner, made it a bit difficult to get around the room, to walk around the bed. But overall, yeah, I think I was impressed. I think when I scored Minentle's room, I kind of looked at various aspects. In terms of originality of the design, I think he didn't score too well. But overall, I think he came out with an average mark of a 7.
Sure, okay. That's not too bad. I think from what you mentioned, I think that's not too bad. And he's still giving you that deadpan look. Minentle's always got that chilled face on. So let's see what you have to say, Simon, from your side.
Well, first of all, guys, congratulations. I thought high level of design. I think the brief, you guys really interpreted it well. And I think, for the most part, created rooms that any guest would be thrilled to be in. So, you know, when it came to Minentle's room, some of the similar feedback to Mark, I looked specifically at the marketability of the property, and to that point, all 3 rooms were incredibly well staged. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of people miss, is it's not just about the finishings and the furnishings, but it's how you present it to the audience, and I think you guys did a great job there. Just in terms of your room, the value added to the room, you know, sometimes some feedback that I would have is that furniture is not always a great value add. Furniture often leaves with the owner of the property, but fixtures are. So Didn't see a lot of fixtures in Menentle's room. Would have been good to have a little bit more of that type of design in the space. Would have added more value to the overall room. But beautiful interpretation, and in the end, just that lack of fixtures probably let you down. The lack of additional furnishings let you down. You know, perhaps some side tables or something just to make it feel a little bit more complete. 6.5.
6.5. Still not a terrible score, I think, coming from you, given that feedback. That is well done so far. It's our first score, so we don't know how that compares with the rest. Anne, your feedback from Menentle.
Well, what I loved about Menentle's design was that he really thought about the guest coming to stay there, and I thought it was great that he put a queen-size bed in, and that it was a 4-poster bed, because it takes your eye sort of up and around, and you don't really notice that it's a really small room, because you've got a queen-size bed in there. And I disagree with Simon a little bit, because I think less is sometimes more in a small room. So instead of having lots of bits and pieces in a small little desk or whatever, your guest is going to have a comfortable night's sleep. I love that you brought in a feature wall and that you thought about colours of Val de Vie and brought those colours in. I thought your room had a spirit and a character. I love the little African flavour that you brought to it with your African design. It wasn't a zebra carpet or anything that was cliche African, but it had something African about it, and I love that you brought that spirit and that character, and please carry on with that, because that's important to have in design.
Good feedback. And your score?
My score was 6.5.
6.5. So 2 6.5s and a 7 coming in for Menentle. Let's move on to Rudolf. We'll start again with you, Mark.
Yeah, well, I think Rudolf definitely raised the bar, and I think he set the bar for the rest of the competition. I think in terms of his room design, I think he ticked all the boxes. I think the main essence of the brief was to be a gracious host. And I think he's definitely captured that. I think he's thought about every single detail within the room, right down to providing the guest with the slippers. And I think that's really what we were looking for, was that sense of luxury and that kind of wow factor. Rudolf also did tick the box in terms of looking at the design of the headboard. I quite like the juxtaposition of the design of a marble element and then combining that with the leather paneling. I thought that was really lovely. In terms of creating more space, I also like the approach that he used in terms of having an open dresser unit, and I think together with the layout of where he positioned his bed, where he put the full-length mirror, all of that creates a great ambience and a kind of much more bigger sense of space within the room.
Really positive. What score did you give him with all of that?
Well, I think Rudolf scored quite high on this, and he got a 9.1.
Wow, that is incredible. Really, really well done, man. That is really good news to hear. Simon, are you as positive?
I am, actually. We seem to agree on a few things tonight, Mark.
You and Anne are going to clash as we go. Okay, good.
You know, I agree with the space in the room. As you walk in, the bed and the positioning of that, the mirror, I particularly like that. Again, bringing space into the room. The fixtures that we were talking about, the floor in particular, I think that adds a lot of value to the space. I think that's going to be something that people remember. I think that's going to be something that adds to the marketability of the home in years to come. So I really enjoyed that. Again, I thought that there was an opportunity missed. You brought the desk into the room. Excellent. We wanted to see a multifunctional space. We wanted to have that option of the guest perhaps having a private space to work. But this is the only spare room in the house. So it made sense to bring some type of clever storage solution into that space. And I don't think any of you guys really did that. I would have liked to see something innovative, perhaps with the bed in mind, under the bed, or something, just to create a little bit more storage space for the apartment as a whole. I think that was an opportunity missed.
So how did you score that, keeping that in mind?
In terms of the marketability, in terms of the value added, he got an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Also a very good score, already 2.5 above what Menentle scored in the same department. So, Anne, over to you.
Okay, well, I thought it was a very modern and edgy room, and I really loved the use of textures, you know, the marble with the leather, and then the sheer curtains and all of that. It was, you know, I loved the mixture of that. I also loved the wallpaper and the relief it brought. It made the room look bigger. But I felt it was very masculine, and it looked a bit corporate to me. And while my son, who's 20-something, absolutely would love to stay there, I don't know if my mother would. So I felt it lacked the feminine touches. I also feel for guests, it's not a good idea to use brown sheets. I'm one of those people who like white sheets to sleep in. So I don't know if that's a good idea. I loved the yellow throw because I thought that lifted the whole scheme and it gave a little bit of cheeriness to it. But overall, for 75,000 Rand, I think you could have added a lot more. Your attention to detail was fantastic. I mean, I've got to compliment you on that. But it was lacking something. For that amount of money, it was lacking soul and spirit. It was a bit too corporate for me.
Yes. How did that affect your score?
So it affected my score a lot because that's what I think. This is somebody's home. It's a guest room where you're inviting people into your home. This isn't a hotel room. And I didn't, although you used natural elements, I felt they didn't reflect Val de Vie enough. So I scored you a 5.5.
Lowest score today so far from Anne, lower than Minenhle, whereas the other two judges seem to have really, really liked what you had done. So lots to think about. All that's left is one more contestant. Joanne scores coming up after the break. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I have a big smile on my face. It's the best time of day because we have got winner home right here in Afternoon Express, and our contestants are sitting very, very tight on the edge of their seats. So they're finding out who's going to be the winner by the judges of their first room, which is their guest bedroom. Our judges join us in the studio with us today. It's good to have them, as well as our 3 design contestants. So far, we have Minenhle sitting on 20 points, and we have Rudolph sitting on 22.8. Rudolph slightly in the lead. All that's left is Joanne. Mark, any comments for Joanne?
Yeah, well, look, I think Joanne's room for me was a little bit too minimal. I do like that she ticked quite a few of the boxes, and I particularly liked the scale of her headboard. I thought that was very interesting.
Okay.
But I scored her still a high score of about 8.1.
8.1, so giving a nice high score. They're not as high as Rudolph's score, but still a very, very high score. This is a chance for her to sneak in that first position. Simon, sellability.
I thought it was a great room. You know, it definitely ticked the box. That spa feel, that relaxation feel, had a lovely light quality to the room. I thought one practical element that a lot of the other guys overlooked was the window covering.
Yes.
Did a great blind in that bedroom as opposed to flimsy curtains. I gave her a 7.
Wow, okay. Simon is scoring quite nicely here. So that's your second highest score so far. And that means over to you, Anne. If you give her a high enough score, she could take that leading position.
I absolutely loved the headboard. I thought it was beautiful, and the colour was also gorgeous, and it just blended beautifully and made the room really look bigger and brighter and friendly. But I felt it was a bit matchy-matchy, and I just wanted a little bit more interest in there, and I didn't feel you brought in the essence and the colours of Val de Vie.
Okay.
So I would like to see a little bit more of that. So beautifully styled. I mean, you could snap that for a magazine straight away. But again, I'm thinking of a guest coming to stay, reflecting Val de Vie. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a beautiful room that could be anywhere in the world.
But this is a contest. We need to give her a score.
Okay, I gave her 5.
5. Okay, so that is her lowest score today so far. So that means our leaderboard leads as follows: 20 points to Minenhle, 22.8 for Rudolph, and we have got Joanne sitting on 20.1. Congratulations on Rudolph. You are officially got the high score so far for the first bedroom, but it's all to the rest of them. You set the high standard, you've got to keep it there. The rest of you have got a chance now to grow as you become. Well, certainly a tough first round, an interesting introduction for our design contestants. Apart from our judges' votes, though, you, the viewer, also have a say. The design contestants with the most amount of viewer votes by the end of Winner Home on Afternoon Express, and not just this challenge, at the end of the competition will also win a cash prize of 50,000 Rand. We've tallied the votes and that you guys have made so far, and this week these are going to be the results. We'll quickly show them to you right now, and here they are. We have 49% Minenhle, 26% Rudolph, and 25% Joanne. So Minenhle is the winner. Remember, you have until Thursday, the 16th of June, to vote for your favorite guest bedroom. For myself, Jeannie and Bonnie, thanks for tuning into Afternoon Express. See you tomorrow, right here on Afternoon Express. Good night. Happy eating.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Join the Afternoon Express family by subscribing to our channel right here, and we'll keep you up to date with all our recipes and of course our fabulous episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share this video. We do love it when you express yourself.